another video by the School Matters Foundation. Today's focus, Common Core versus Kids, Part 2. The rationale behind it. Let's begin with some history. Since 1983, when the Department of Education published A Nation at Risk, America's power structure has gone into overdrive, trying to find solutions for lagging performance among American students. If you haven't looked at this report, it's worth doing so now. You can find the free PDF easily with a quick search of its title. Among its many claims is this: our society and its educational institutions seem to have lost sight of the basic purposes of schooling and of the high expectations and disciplined effort needed to attain them. This statement, while seemingly self-reflective, actually served as the catalyst to control the education landscape at the federal level through propagandized language. Remember that this report was commissioned and published by the Department of Education. To propagandize is to spread biased information that supports a particular viewpoint. What viewpoint could the Department of Education possibly possess? Perhaps the need to bolster its own level of relevance in the political arena at that time? Remember, the DOE was still in its infancy, having been created by President Jimmy Carter only 2 years prior to the commission of the study that led to A Nation at Risk. Any organization has the very basic need for funding. A federal bureaucracy is no different. And what better way to secure one's place on the relevance train than to point out problems that can only be fixed through mandates and money. Fast track to 2001, when President George Bush's administration worked in a bipartisan way to create its seminal legislation known as No Child Left Behind. The mandates implemented by this legislation laid the foundation for the slippery slope of subterfuge that has now engulfed public education. You can read all about that slippery slope in my book, by the way. A major provision of No Child Left Behind is called Adequate Yearly Progress, which allows the Department of Education to determine how every public school in the United States is performing according to results on standardized tests. At that time, in the early 2000s, each state was creating its own way to assess student performance. Critics complained that some states were using less rigorous testing measures than others. What followed was the birth of the Core Standards Initiative in 2009, with its stated mission to provide a consistent, clear understanding of what students are expected to learn so teachers and parents can know what they need to do to help them. This mission statement sounds very common-sensy, doesn't it? Is it any wonder they decided to call their new set of rigorous standards Common Core? Who can argue with a name that sounds so basic? There is no doubt that Common Core represents rigor, and most people would probably say that's good. But what does rigor actually mean? For Common Core, it means that children are required to analyze their own learning and express their reasoning through what educators now call justifying their answer. In Part 2.5, Justification, you'll see how Common Core testing for math is no longer a matter of doing math correctly. Beginning in 3rd grade, students must be able to share their reasoning as typed in text boxes. Stay tuned to find out how that works. For the whole story, read my book, Chaos in Our Schools, available on Amazon. And visit us at schoolmattersfoundation.org for more about our mission. This is Miss Semple, over and out.